If someone has ever told you do not go to Athens, go ahead and ignore them because Athens has so much to offer. There's a lot of cool archaeological sites for you to visit and a lot of different cuisines along with the local cuisines for you to check out. If you're interested in learning what you can do in Athens in just 24 hours, keep on watching and welcome back to Tierra Querida. After you land, you're going to want to head to your Airbnb or hotel, whatever you choose. And then you want to take a shower, kind of do a little bit of a reset. I personally like to get just like completely clean after being on the airplane for such a long time. And then get ready for the day. The Airbnb that I chose to stay at was about 15 to 20 minute walk into the Plaka, so it was a little bit far away, but it wasn't anything terrible, and I will insert a video and some pictures maybe, or just so you can get an idea of what that Airbnb looks like and see if that's something you're interested in getting for your time there. After you're all cleaned up, you're going to head over to the Monastiraki Square and you are going to go out and explore. There are a lot of little souvenir shops and there's also a lot of little stands with fresh fruit. So if you're craving something fresh, I would definitely encourage you to bring some cash and small bills and some coins for you to grab some fresh fruit. As you're walking, make sure to look around. Check out the surrounding walls and also some of the buildings. There's a lot of really neat artwork, so make sure you are paying attention and you check out some of the really neat artwork that Athens has to offer. At the Plaka, you will also find some of the fresh fruit stands and some shopping for you, so if you're interested, make sure you do take your time and you walk around and explore some of these really unique shops. Most of the restaurants were definitely more on the touristy side, but I did find that the food was good, so I encourage you to sit down at one of the restaurants that catches your eye and try out a couple different food items, especially if this is your first time in Athens. The restaurant that I decided to have lunch at was near the Church of St. Mary Pantanasa. I'm not quite sure, but it is a little church. You won't miss it. It's right off of one of the big streets. I can't remember the name, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was really good. Staff was really kind and I didn't have any issues with the food being bland or anything like that. So yeah, make sure you check out all the little restaurants that are in that area and then pick one that seems like it might be to your liking. After you are done having your lunch or you're done walking around, if you want to go to a pretty unique spot, you can head over to Alice in Cookland. It is an Alice in Wonderland themed / inspired little cafe. All the staff is dressed in like Alice in Wonderland outfits, and they have little gift shops, and I'm telling you, this place is decked out in Alice in Wonderland. So if you want to find somewhere pretty unique and picturesque, that is the spot for you. I had a little a little coffee and also some treat. I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty good. It does take some time to get your food, so make sure you are not in a rush. That would wrap the first half of your day, and the other half of your day I'll chat about here in just a second, but just wanted to remind you, give yourself grace. Don't try to do everything the moment you arrive because especially if you have a big time difference, your body is going to take a little bit to adjust, but you do want to make sure you are making use of your time and exploring. Okay, so the next morning you want to make sure you kind of start at a decent time and have breakfast early. I went to the Brunch Factory and had their Greek eggs with some feta on top, and I also had a mimosa because why not? The Greek eggs are kind of like scrambled eggs, but they have a tomato in it. It's kind of an interesting texture, but I was really good. When I came back home, I tried to recreate the dish, but of course it wasn't as tasty, but it was still really good. So check them out. I will try to find their address and put it in the description box for you guys. And then it also comes with the side of toast. So they have other things there for you. They have fresh juices and things like that. So if you're interested, make sure you check them out and have a nice and hearty meal. Now, after you're all filled up, you're gonna head to the Acropolis. And make sure, again, like I said in my previous video, you are bringing in a good pair of shoes because you are going to be doing a lot of walkings and going uphill. So head over to the Acropolis and try to get there early, like I said, because you want to avoid the large crowds. I got there around maybe like 10:30 and it was already starting to get pretty packed. So yeah, make sure you plan accordingly. Also, on your way up to the Acropolis, make sure you are kind of exploring, somewhat getting a little bit lost. There's a lot of really cool little streets, and you can take pictures and just kind of explore. Don't try to rush things, but you know, if you are wanting to get to X, Y, and Z by a certain amount of time, of course, make sure you're not wandering off forever, but do explore and take your time and soak in all the beauty that Athens has to offer. Again, make sure you are setting a couple of hours aside just to visit Acropolis because there is so much to see. You want to make sure you're checking out all the temples and you're reading the little plaques that they have. There's a lot of really cool and interesting information available there. Or if you're doing the audio tour, you can always do that. But still, it'll take some time to take a look at least most of the things that they have there. Make sure you do stop at the Temple of Athina. There is a olive tree that has been there for a very long time, and there's always an olive tree there. It's said to be a kind of like a gift and an offering from the goddess Athina. If you do plan on going to the Acropolis Museum, make sure to get your tickets ahead of time. It wasn't in my plans to go, but I did end up getting tickets last minute after waiting in line for a little bit and realizing it was going to take way too long. So I just went on the website and purchased the tickets. Again, I recommend you get them ahead of time and try to plan your day out as much as you can so you don't have to wait in long lines. This museum is fairly large, so you want to set aside a couple hours for you to check out a lot of the artifacts that they do have, and again, read some of the plaques that they have because there's a lot of really cool and interesting information. One thing to know is that there are certain areas where you are not to photograph or video, and you know, if someone is taking a photo, they'll tell them to please not take a photo or not to record. And then the other thing I want to note is please don't lean on these artifacts. They're so old and they're very well preserved, but if you're going to be leaning on these things, you probably shouldn't be in the museum. They'll kindly ask you to please move, but don't give the staff a hard time. They're there to protect these very historical pieces, so stay away and follow instructions is all I have to say. If you're wanting a small snack or just a little coffee, the museum does have a cafe, so you can check that out before you head over to the Roman Agora. And if you purchase your combination ticket, you will be able to go into the Roman Agora without having to wait in line to purchase your ticket. After the museum, I just went straight to the Roman Agora, and then after that, I picked up a second lunch, I guess you can say, and I went to this little Indian cuisine spot. They had I had some chicken curry and mango lassi, and I can't remember some other things. I can't find the name of it, unfortunately. I tried searching it in the Google Maps, but I can't find it. So I'll try to leave a in the description a kind of general area of where it was. For your final archaeological stop, I would say to go to the ancient Agora, and you will spend maybe like 1 to 2 hours there if you take your time. There's a lot of stuff, you know, kind of at a base level, and then you go up a little bit of a small hill and then get some of the temples too. But it's nothing, you know, super big. But there's just a lot of small artifacts for you to check out, and there's it's kind of like a park, so you can hang out in the shade for a little bit if you want, and then head home or continue to explore the Plaka and other things that Athens has to offer. Hopefully this 24-hour itinerary will be helpful to your planning of your Athens trip. If you are leaving or embarking here for your cruise, make sure you get there in time. I will add this video to the cruise playlist. Again, as I said before in my other video, Athens is where we embarked. And yeah, I had a great time, and hopefully you do too. And I hope I can see you on the next one. That is all for today. Bye.